Hi, everybody. Russ. Oh, hi, everybody. Russ and the West End Network. Hope you're safe and well. This is news at 10. It's 10 o'clock in the UK, 10 o'clock at night. And we try to bring you the latest rumours, the latest news that's been happening in the last 24 hours or so. Today, we had Rushy rants about VAR at lunchtime, so check that one out. Hammer's headlines, we spoke about Agad potentially being back for the Spurs game. We spoke at one of the stories we mentioned briefly, and also a potential rumor about Boney from Sevilla, the Moroccan international goalkeeper. But anyway, news at 10. 3 stories. Let's talk about the Spurs game and talk about Spurs' is injury list. But obviously, we know we've got some injuries happening yet, definitely, and maybe some coming back. Maybe again coming back. Who knows? Touch and go. We know in terms of players, they've got 4 players potentially out already for definite. In that they've got Hugo Lloris, who's out for 6 to 8 weeks. They've got Bentancur, who's out for the rest of the season with an ACL. Basuma, I believe, has got to have ankle surgery, and Ryan Sessegnon. But breaking news, so to speak, over the last few hours is Antonio Conte will not be in the dugouts. Tottenham have announced on their website that their manager will not lead the team for the match against West Ham due to health reasons. Instead, Conte will remain in Italy to recover from a recent gallbladder operation, I believe, with assistant manager Christian Stanley assuming the manager duties. Spurs took to their website to say that following a routine post operation check in Italy yesterday, as in Wednesday, Antonio Conte remain at his family home to further and fully recover from his recent gallbladder surgery. Health is the most important consideration, and everyone at the club wishes him well. He was in the dugout for the Leicester game at the weekend, which came about a week after his gallbladder operation, where apparently he was meant to have 15 days rest, but he didn't. He was in the dugout again yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, no, Tuesday for Spurs' loss against Milan, and then obviously he had the post-op check-up, and they told him to basically he needed to rest. So obviously, it hasn't healed or anything, so he's not in the dugout as well. So that's 5 key members of the Spurs staff or playing staff and coaching staff who won't be there. We're probably about the same, I reckon. We're at least 3 or 4 for us. So yeah, it's sort of it'll be a war game of the wounded, to be honest, by the end, I reckon. In terms of other things, I mean, Connor Coventry was one of our players who went out on loan during January transfer window, went to Rotherham with former Hammer Matt Taylor, the manager there, I believe. He has come out and said that Connor's got a great chance of playing in the Premier League and going to the next step following his spell in the Championship. He's spending the second half of this season with the Millers after spending the first half, obviously, at West Ham. The 22-year-old made 7 appearances under Moyes before the decision was made to send him out on loan to continue his development. Midweek against Reading saw Connor pick up his first assist for Rotherham in a 2-1 loss to Reading. But speaking afterwards, Taylor praised the Ireland under-21 international for how he is dealing with the demands of Championship football and tipped him to be in a better position to make the jump to the Premier League at the end of the season. He's made 3 appearances since his deadline day switch from West Ham to Rotherham, and he's played 90 minutes in each of them, becoming one of Taylor's most trusted players immediately. Taylor was quoted in saying in the Yorkshire Post, "Whatever happens in the next few months, we'll put him in a better position to go and play Premier League football," which he has a great chance of doing. He's going to learn a lot about himself. So he seems to be, but then he does everywhere he's gone. MK Dons was the same. MK Dons he played really well there. Obviously, he went to Peterborough, didn't he? He came back last year after, like, in the January, then went back out to MK Dons again. It falls in line with what Mark Noble was saying in the Fozcast podcast. And I know there's been criticism about that podcast, but actually it makes sense. There's a lot of people in front of that. I mean, clearly they see these under 18s as the future, and they want to create a pathway to get them into the first team. And the likes of Coventry, Ashby, Elise, Perkins, Neves, Schweier, there's a lot of players there in front of them, so you can see them moving them on and letting them go and letting them go to other clubs and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I think Connor is one of those players. he's got a bit of a Josh Cullen about him, and Josh Cullen had to, he was never going to break into the first team regularly at West Ham, so he went to Anderlecht, and we've had this debate many times. You can go back and check out the channel, and we've had specific shows on the youth and the academy, including an interview with Tony Carr last week, a couple of weeks ago. So check that out. But it's good to see that he's making a good account of himself. Rotherham are potentially going down at the moment, but who knows? I think I've got a feeling he's signed a new deal, didn't he? He signed a new deal before he went out on loan, so obviously he couldn't go anywhere on a free transfer. So if Rotherham wanted him or MK Dons in the summer, it would come with a fee. And finally, in terms of that transfer window, obviously we brought in Danny Ings, and hasn't really hit the ground running, unfortunately, yet. But he hasn't had a lot of time. He's been injured. He's 20 seconds on the pitch. Ain't missed a game for 18 months. 20 seconds on the pitch at West Ham, gets injured, comes back. Looks like he got another knock at that Newcastle game. Came off the bench at Chelsea. And apparently Everton, according to a report released in The Athletic yesterday, claimed that Everton actually made a move to get a deal done for Danny Ings before we swooped in, actually before it even ever opened at the beginning of the January transfer window. The Athletic claimed the Toffees were the first to table the bid for the England international. They claimed that under Frank Lampard, Everton tried to sound out Villa over a potential loan move as early as December, but he ended up going to West Ham on a permanent deal as Everton were unable to seal any loan deal for them. Also because of the uncertainty of the manager as well. It may give explanation as to sort of the relatively quickness of our deal. It was unlike a lot of other of our transfers. They are quite protracted and take a long time, and there's always rumours of things breaking down. The Ings deal happened really quickly, similar to like the Areola deal. I think remember in the last summer when he signed on a loan deal. Some deals just happened really quickly, and that was one that happened really quickly, considering it was a permanent deal as well. Maybe West Ham were trying to get some payback for the whole Onana incident in the summer. Who knows? But it's good to know that we beat Everton to Danny Ings basically, and hopefully we'll get some outlay off him very soon. Maybe the Spurs game. Who knows? We got a busy day on Friday. Busy day. We got the lunchtime live show. We've got the press conference. We'll have over the weekend. We'll have the previews, all that type of stuff. To watch along on Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, 4:30 kickoff in the UK, plus then the highlight show and everything else that comes out of it. And then on Monday we'll have the rating show on the lunchtime show. So yeah, loads to keep up. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. It's great. Leave it a comment. Give us a comment. Are you excited about Sunday? Let us know. I am. I'm these games can't come quick enough at the moment for me. I mean, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Be nice to get a win though, wouldn't it? We sort of need some wins now. But we've only lost once this year, and that was a 1-0 loss to Wolves, wasn't it? Quite a narrow defeat there. But anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm. Sweet dreams, my friends, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care, my friends. Bye.